Obliviate.
Obliviate.
So, late review, and this is our first time doing a review for Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. What do you think?
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad.
We have compiled a short list actually of things we liked.
Mm-hmm.
You liked more than I did, and then
well, I'm more of a fan than you are.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Fantastic Beasts 1, but this one was just terrible, downright awful.
I just want to start off by saying I've been a lifelong fan of Harry Potter since I was little. I've read all the books several times over. I'm even in the crazed portion of having a Harry Potter tattoo. Yeah, Expecto Patronum. It's a bear. I'm a Hufflepuff. He's a Ravenclaw.
It looks like I'm stroking myself. I'm actually stroking the cat.
Yeah, there's the kid.
There's a reason. I'm not touching myself. This isn't a. I'm not one of those Twitch girls or whatever. You know.
Okay.
Don't report me to the IRS.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. So, do you want to start at the beginning?
Let's start at the beginning. Well, actually, let me preface this because, as you've said, you're the lifelong nerd. I've read.
Quidditch is my favorite sport.
I've read a few. I've read a few of the books. Not all of them. You want me to read them all, but I don't know. There's.
I think you need to read them.
There's too many
before
plot
we
holes.
get married.
The books are like Swiss cheese.
No, they're not.
We just lost all of our viewership, all of our one viewer.
Hmm.
Giving a shout out to the person who asked for this review. Thank you, Bonnie, for being one of the people who actually requests things.
Yes.
Well, I want to say I liked Fantastic Beasts 1. I liked it a lot more than the main Harry Potter series. I felt like it was better written. Like, there wasn't the massive contrast. There's still those stupid, like, the plot twist has to be in every Harry Potter film with Johnny Depp. Okay, you know what? Let's just jump into this review. Starting with things we liked. Em, I'll let you start.
I did enjoy Jude Law as Dumbledore. I think he was a pretty good fit for the character. He had a mysterious and calm demeanor, like Dumbledore should. Though I would have definitely liked to see Jared Harris play in the role, which even kind of looks like him. So,
yeah,
I mean,
the original
I can't complain
Dumbledore
about him.
It's
I can't complain. I liked him. It was just strange seeing him so much younger. One of my favorite scenes. Oh, adding this is a spoiler review.
Yeah, full of spoilers.
Full spoilers. We're going to talk about everything.
Really, who gives a crap?
Well, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Newt and Tina, just their chemistry was a lot better in this movie versus the first one, I think. I really liked the scene where they escaped from the ministry in France on the Zouwu.
Yeah, Zouwu.
Zouwu.
The Chinese dragon cat.
Chinese dragon cat.
Yeah, the long breed.
It was a very interesting scene. It was kind of fun. It made me think of the original franchise, like the escape from Gringotts. I enjoyed the ministry familiars, the cat creatures that attacked Newt and Tina and Lita.
Lita, yeah.
I loved the continuing relationship, the good relationship between Newt and Jacob. I'm glad he came back. I'm glad they found a loophole in the idea of how he could return.
You mean plot hole?
Yeah, plot hole, whatever. And I really liked the confession scene between Newt and Tina of kind of saying that they loved each other.
Well, it was really
It
one
was-
side.
it was
Newt
really
being
Newt.
like, "Oh, hey, your eyes look like a salamander's."
Yeah, which was adorable.
It was funny. It was funny.
I
like that he actually.
It's just he's adorable.
I like that he actually he's like like started like he didn't. It wasn't just like like how the relationships were in the Harry Potter films, where it was just like, oh, I like you. Oh, I like you
Well,
too.
they were kids, honey.
Still, there's got to be some, there's got to be some like suaveness. I mean,
Newt's not really what you would call suave.
he has, what, for being what I assume a high functioning autist, because he's got those ticks.
He's got some.
He's got the Asperger ticks.
Something.
But for being how he is, how antisocial he is, he blows all the other people out of the water.
He does.
I mean, come on. Even like the adults love in the classic movies are just so contrived. Snape with his
okay,
always.
Snape. Let's not even. No.
Always.
Let's not even. No. Let's not even go there.
Well, Lily, I love you.
I have a lot
He should have just killed
of
James.
opinion on that. No, just okay. That's enough
back,
about that.
Back to
the actual movie. The young Newt, whoever they picked to play the young Newt, was perfect. He looked just like Eddie Redmayne. He was adorable.
Even had the little,
swoop
going on. The little like hair tuck. He got struck by lightning or something.
I liked who they cast as Theseus Scamander. He was a pretty good pick. He kind of even looked like Newt.
Played by Callum Turner. Because I picked some of these actors out. Mm-hmm. Some of them.
Yep. And that's pretty much all I can think of about what I actually liked about the movie.
Yeah, do you want to work the scroll for me? Because I mean, honestly, we don't edit these videos. I don't really care about editing.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
So on to what Mickey liked.
This is a short one. So the creature effects, they were decently done. I mean, everything's CGI heavy. I would have loved if they just dressed some hamster up or something as the Niffler, like. But they were decently done. But some of the CGI was just very like off-putting. Like in the final fight, if you can count that, when they basically fight Grindelwald's Balrog. There were scenes where it cut in a way that the CGI looked like it was a poor video game cutscene.
I didn't notice.
I was looking for flaws. I went into this movie knowing it was going to be a letdown.
I tried to keep an open mind as much as I could, even though I heard bad things about the movie.
Johnny Depp.
Just
Johnny Depp. I too like the casting of the younger characters. Like, I know child actors suck normally.
Generally.
Except for, Stan Baratheon's son playing young Voldemort. But that was in this movie. That was in which one? Which one was that? Half-Blood Prince? Half-Blood Prince, yeah, with the Horcrux. What? The Horcrux. I felt they actually did do well, except young Lita had a darker complexion than older Lita. I don't know why. I noticed that. It was just, they did get the hair right. Her hair does look like ramen. Her hair looks like brown ramen. I also thought Jude Law did a good, good Dumbledore. I too think Jared Harris would have played a better one. I mean, just from the looks and also the nostalgia of having the original Dumbledore's son playing Dumbledore, and the age would have been a little bit more fitting, because Dumbledore is supposed to be, what was it, 40 in canon or something 50, like that?
40.
Maybe 40, 45. Like, I mean, Jude Law did good. He did well. He reminds me still of a young Lightcap. He looks like a young Lightcap. All the pictures. Our professor looks just like young Jude Law. Now we get to go into my favorite part, the complaints. Do scroll for me, hon.
There's a lot of them.
All right, they're out of order, so just roll with it. First off, in the last movie, I still feel like they were trying to retcon out the first Fantastic Beasts. There's a lot of parts from that movie that should have been mentioned, or at least would make the characters a little smarter. They seem to forget that Grindelwald can change his form without Polyjuice Potion, and he uses this to escape from, in the Fantastic Beasts, it was the Magical Congress of USA. They start out
Makusa.
Yeah, they start out with those ever-loved, title cards. American Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
We don't have a ministry. That's Europe. They have a minister. We don't. We have a president. But going on from that, That's another retcon, I guess. They're renaming it the American Ministry of Magic. Probably too many people didn't like calling it the Makusa or whatever.
Makusa. What's wrong with that?
So he escapes by having some random guy who in the last movie Queenie like brushed off using her feminine mystique on him to get away. Abernathy, whatever.
Abernathy.
The dork. They even mentioned that they've had to change his guard several times because he seduces them. First thing they should have done, after knowing he impersonated Percival Graves, Colin Farrell, rest in peace, he should have been Grindelwald for this movie. Just retcon it. He assumes this guy's form. They should have had a thieves' downfall or something over his cell, which also his cell is among a bunch of other cells. Meaning there's other guards who should have seen Abernathy waltz into his cell and change outfits.
Also, it doesn't make sense that Abernathy would have been a guard. That didn't seem to be his role.
Yeah, he was just like a pencil pusher.
He didn't do very much in the original movie. It doesn't really make sense.
They probably only had 3 guards. There was a lot of budget cuts. There's only 3 guards. They had to put in some pencil neck who, is, just
obviously he got talked into being part of Grindelwald's squad, but,
his crew. But they also don't even do much to stop Grindelwald. Like when he's in his cell, they don't soundproof it. They don't Imperious him, which they use the Unforgivable Curses several times throughout the film without there being any problems.
I don't know why they don't Imperious him or give him a potion to make him like out of it during transport.
They like Levi Corpus him out of the jail.
Yeah.
And now my problem with that is they transport him via carriage carried by Thestrals, which in canon you only see if you've seen Death, right? It's Death or Despair, something like that.
Death.
Now this scene isn't shot from anyone's specific point of view, so I assume JK's reasoning behind that, if anyone asks, is going to be, well, it's seen through the moviegoer's viewpoint, so we've all seen Death, so
we've all seen deaths in the previous
but
movies, so.
I think it's more of we're seeing the death of the franchise. This is the prequel trilogy and she's the new George Lucas, but they have a flu network, they have port keys, and they can apparate, so they could have easily apparated, and the whole point of this was they want to try Grindelwald in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would just assume if you have
No, it is a possibility that you couldn't have a port key in that long of a distance, but I don't know.
In the past movie, they showed in the Magical Congress that all the other wizards from around the world can just show up in their little, whatever that round room is, which I think they reused that for the cemetery scene too.
Probably.
It looked the exact same. But instead of trying him in America where they just captured him, they want to bring him to Europe. Like, I guess he's supposed to be Hitler, so they gotta try him, the way the Nuremberg trials. Well, let's bring all the Nazis to one place. They could have just done it there. That would have saved a lot of time. Moving on. Grindelwald's stupid eye. They gave Grindelwald he's dichromatic in this film, just as the end of Fantastic Beasts. But
just why?
In his previous incarnation, I forgot to write down the name of the older actor, Michael Byrne. Michael Byrne, who played Grindelwald in like a throwaway scene in Deathly Hallows Part 1, had normal colored eyes. Jamie Campbell Bower, who plays the young Grindelwald in a cameo scene when he steals the Elder One from Grigorovich
in Deathly Hallows
Part 1, also has normal colored eyes. I think he's blue eyes.
Something
like that. In this movie, Jamie Campbell Bower returns as a brief cameo, and they changed his eyes.
Yeah, they made him die.
They retconned it, but that guy, for being how many years later, still looks the exact same.
Yeah, he does.
The exact same. I don't know if they de-aged him, which they should have done when they do a flashback with young Dumbledore, but the exact same. But they put that stupid eye on, and throughout every scene where they focused on Johnny Depp's face, I could see the prosthetic sticking out. Like, the pupil was, like, sticking out.
It was annoying.
It was
very distracting.
I kept getting drawn towards it, like...
Yeah. Like, not really paying attention to the actual scene, more just, like, looking at him and noticing that he has that eye was very distracting and very...
Yeah, it kept pulling me away. Like, that's, I'd just be focused, like, okay, this dude's eyeball. And when he's in prison, I noticed the eyes were dilated differently. The messed up eye, super dilated. The other one was, like, normal.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just misremembering. I only saw it once, and...
Yeah, we've only seen it once. We just got back from the theater.
It's a good drinking game movie, though. But, just the stupid eye. Like, I guess they want to make the villain ugly like they did with Voldemort, but...
He's not supposed to be ugly.
I don't think he's supposed to be ugly.
He's not supposed to be ugly.
To be
he's supposed
charismatic.
To be charismatic. He's supposed to be attractive. It just... And also, Johnny Depp is 10 years older than the character is supposed to be.
At least it looks like he lost weight in this one. At the end, the first Fantastic Beasts, he looked like just bloated and like... But in this one, he looks like he lost weight. Mm-hmm. I'll let you take over the next few points.
There was a scene where Grindelwald was calling to his followers, and it was like sheets going over the town. It was like, were they just trying to make something like the Dark Mark without having the Dark Mark? It was really dumb. Really stupid looking. Like, oh, Tina knew, oh, that's Grindelwald calling to his followers. Why would she know that, for one thing?
Yeah,
like,
they never even did it in
like, they didn't
else.
Do it in... Like, why would that be a thing? Why black sheets covering buildings? It doesn't make any sense. Like...
It's not even subtle.
At least the Dark Mark had meaning. Like, maybe if he just, I don't know, fucking drew a...
His giant weird eye up in the sky?
No, the Deathly Hallows in the sky.
I don't know if many people know the Deathly Hallows. They'll say, that's a weird formation.
Yeah, well, whatever. Make it look like clouds so the Muggles don't notice. Like, what the hell, Statute of Secrecy?
Yeah, I mean...
yeah.
Unless he's only doing it in wizarding spots, which... How are they hiding all these wizard cities? Mm-hmm. Like, I get some of the... Like, Diagon Alley is, like, kind of, like, hidden behind walls and stuff. But it was an entire part of France. Yeah. An entire part of Paris, France.
Well, we don't know much about
wizards.
We don't know much about that area.
Turn your mind up. Turn your brain off.
Yep. And another thing about Grindelwald is they cast a female character that was obsessed with him. Dark hair, pale, a little kooky.
They don't even tell us her name. They might have, but they just kind of like, whatever.
Yep.
Like most of his,
knock off Bellatrix Lestrange.
This was just Bellatrix La. But she even says like, because she's with Queenie, because they like convince Queenie to come over to the dark side.
Also, during the first scene where she shows up with Queenie, and Queenie is on the sidewalk in the rain, having a panic attack.
A Sookie attack. She's hearing everyone's thoughts
at once. Sookie. Sookie Stackhouse from True Blood. And she all of a sudden just touches her, and everything goes quiet. What was that? How did that happen? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I guess it distracted her, but...
Why?
Why? What about this woman did that? Does she have...
It's the fact, hon. I noticed this, because I'm a guy. I noticed. A lot of the women didn't have bras on. She just thought, there's boobs behind me. I noticed it. The whole, like, there's characters, you'd see it, and then you wouldn't. Like, they were switching between bra, no bra, bra, no bra. But that's all I'm thinking is she's like, I feel something poking my head.
Do you want to talk about...
well, I want to go back to the, his Bellatrix lady. Okay. So she's like, she brings Queenie home and, giving her tea and stuff. And Queenie's like, I'm going to go home now. And the lady's like, oh, but you haven't even met your host. And she's like, oh, your husband? And the lady says a throwaway line like
Life partner.
no, she's like, no, just someone I'm very obsessed over, something weird. Like, I'm like,
no, that's not what she said.
she didn't say life partner. She said like someone I'm very crazy for, like something stupid.
It was very pulled you out of the movie kind of quote.
Hang on. I think this is gonna be a multi-part review because we're already over like 20 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
So I guess we'll do a part 2.
Part 2. Okay. We'll see you in the next one.